Beauty and Bridal Fair. We promise you a very informative and a very exciting time. But that was the group from Untitled giving us some social dance moves. We can appreciate them better, can't we? Yes. Thank you very much. The group from Untitled, we say thank you very much. We appreciate you. Last night they were here with us for the happy hour. If you were not here, you missed. But this is just a short rendition of what we experienced here last night. My name is Adam Naite. I'll be doing this with a couple of your favorite Joy FM and multimedia personalities. Right about now, we have another performance coming out for you before we have our first speaker. PG Sebastian is going to be our first speaker, and he will be speaking on could your partner be having an affair? He'll be telling us the telltale signs, what you should watch out for, and a bit of information on what you can do if you ever find out or if you are seeing any of those telltale signs. PG Sebastian is a young man, married for so many years with some number of children, and he's a guy with swag. He's an author, and he is a relationship coach. He's a relationship enthusiast. He loves everything, beautiful relationships and marriages. You'll be hearing from him this afternoon. But before then, Adakwe, if you're ready, please serenade us.
na mati senya bon rekuri agedin wo kentemini mu na woja yen kwan maba se mehwe ne amete wo ho no na menya medu kro ni mu pe ofie dika medu mu no mete na mehui so opanyi kwa me onimadio ye ori nyini kente eja kwa me onimadio ye ni kente di ame boy pe na drum na be hyema no kro wojina me dan na no retie me dwom na moara munim anadwodwom na ne de ko won so ara yiye ma me gya ma bone san wo bi na sa me fra dwom na wo nyina agye so na ofi biara mu anka ɔkye anka doa na me hwe kum na me se ei na nipa domi kura ba mane na me bon e beso wani je se me nwumiara na ma hyehyɛ so na ɔkyea me na som amanfo na gye so efi ho wo fa kronim benkum ana nifa epoye ana atoye obete
Assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. Heir of salvation, edges of God, born of His Spirit, washed in His blood. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.
Expectant. So, I like that response. On this note, before then, if you came with your call cards or your flyers, or you can write your name on a piece of paper, baskets will be going around. You can drop them in it. By the time we're done from here, there are wonderful prizes for you from Millennium Insurance. Pepsi is also going to refresh everybody in the auditorium. And then Ghana Home Loans also has some very, very vital information for us. All that will be coming up. But right about now, P.G. Sebastian, please let's welcome him. And he is speaking on, could your partner be having an affair? The telltale signs and what to do with them.
Hello, everybody. Are we excited to be here this evening? I am excited, and hopefully we are going to learn a few things. The idea is to create an impression that is not there. The idea is not to let you start suspecting your partner and then going home to start an unnecessary fight and then potentially break your home apart. The idea is to draw your mind onto a few things so that if there are things that are manifesting in your home, you may want to take certain steps to mitigate it. So, yes, my name is PG Sebastian. That's in Pa George. PG is Pa George. Like, I'm a typical fancy man, so my name is quite dramatic. Anyway, so could your spouse be having an affair? Before we get into that, before we look at some of the signs, the first thing I would like to do is to issue a few caveats, okay? I'd like to issue a few caveats. Otherwise, we may get this thing so wrong. The first thing is that when we are talking about human nature and we are talking about things that has to do with another individual, we don't normally talk in absolute, okay? You can't say it is what it is. 100% is correct. That is what I see, or that's what I suspect. So it is absolute. No. Human beings, you make allowance for, the possibilities, because things may appear to be something that they are not. So I think that's the first caveat I'd like to issue, that don't take everything in absolute, okay? Now, the second thing that I also like to talk about is that when it comes to affairs, infidelity, it is one of the cardinal issues in marriage. And if we want to look at it in the negative, we get to say it's one of the cardinal sins in marriage. And so before you accuse somebody of being unfaithful to you, you need hard facts. If you don't have hard facts, I beg you, don't go on that tangent. Because by the time you are done, the person will play it out so well that you will be the one who is insecure. You'll be the one who doesn't trust your partner. You'll be the one who is trying to be possessive. You'll be the one who is nagging. You'll be the one who needs to have a medical checkup. Everything will come back at you. And then you end up going to your pastor, and your pastor will sit you down. And the pastor that probably is supposed to help you also aggravates the situation. Everybody will make you feel like you are mad. Because you really can't put your finger on anything. So that's another caveat I'd like to issue, that if you don't have hard evidence, please don't go at your partner. Another caveat I also like to issue is the fact that there are certain people who naturally behave in particular way. It doesn't mean they are being unfaithful. Some people are naturally secretive, okay? Like, he is just secretive. Like, ordinary little things, they won't say it for everybody to hear. They'll go and stand by somebody and whisper it, and they will giggle, and then run away. And then ordinary chats that they have, they'll just be looking at it. Oh, this thing came off. Anyway, some of the gadgets are coming off. Ordinary chats that they are reading, they won't just read and, just have a straight face. They'll have all these emotions and all these whatever going on. And then you are sitting there and you are thinking, what is he doing? What is she doing? It may be that the person is not talking to any guy. Your wife is not talking to any guy. Your husband is not talking to any woman. They are just dramatic. And they just act in very weird ways. You don't look at those things and then based on that, you judge that because they are being secretive, because all of a sudden 10 p.m. they are all excited, what's happening? For all you know, somebody has created a very funny WhatsApp page and divided them. So the fact that they are chatting on WhatsApp at 10 p.m. and there's this military-grade password on their phone doesn't mean they could be cheating. So, that's another caveat I also want to issue. Otherwise, you see your spouse chatting at 10 midnight, and then, right when they get up to go and pee, they lock the phone. They come back, they open it, and you are thinking, okay, you must be talking to some girl. No, it may not necessarily be so. So that's another caveat I'd like to say. And then the final one I would like to issue is the fact that in some relationships or in some marriages, there are certain things that are prevalent. They may not be in. When you see them putting up certain behaviors, it may not necessarily mean that the fact that your ex-boyfriend did it to you, when you see those things coming out in your husband, be like, yeah, I've seen you before. I've seen like 2 men like you before, and then you just go at them. Or if you see your wife up those behaviors or showing those symptoms or signs or whatever, then you go against them. No, please. So those are the caveats I would like to issue before we get into this, so that you pick some of these things in context. Of course, there are certain signs. Once you see them, we have a problem. When a particular number calls and it is never picked. And when this number is calling, it doesn't come once, it comes like twice or thrice. And that number is never saved. And whenever you ask, why don't you pick this particular number? No, it's some client. And as for you, you haven't finished sorting your client out. That every 8 p.m., 9 p.m., your client is calling. And they call 3 or 4 times. And that number is never saved. I know that Charlie. Or that particular number, anytime that number rings or pops up on the phone, whatever the guy is doing, he will have to answer the phone. And usually they don't answer it in your presence. Usually they pick it. Yeah, hello, let me call you back. Charlie, those ones, Charlie, you can't hide it. You can't hide it. And then people also go on the internet, go and do things. Because, of course, their phone, probably because the password, they don't do the WhatsApp on the phone. Now they do the WhatsApp on the office laptop. And then right after they are done, you go into the browser and you can't find browser history. They've deleted everything. Charlie, they are hiding something. And then some people, they will tell you, oh, I am going here. And then by mistake, you also have this GPS that is connected to, this Google map. It's connected to your laptop, connected to the house Wi-Fi. So you can access where your partner is going anytime. And says, oh, I'm going to Auntie Amma. Auntie Amma is at Laboni. But GPS says you are at Awoshi. There's no way GPS can confuse Laboni and Awoshi. I know that, people are hiding things. But anyway, those are the obvious ones. But there are certain things that are a little bit subtle, okay? And you need a lot more discernment, a lot more wisdom, a lot more tact to address them. Again, the things I'll be telling you, they may not happen in isolation. And you may not want to judge a person based on the manifestation of just one of them. You may want to put everything together. It's bits and pieces of science. Because most often, it is one and others. Or, a major one, and then you find ancillary ones all attached to it to actually paint a bigger picture. So it's very important that you look at these things in context. The very first thing I would like to talk about, the very first sign I would like to talk about is when your spouse all of a sudden loses interest in intimacy. Okay? And it is one thing when they lose interest in intimacy. It's another thing when they don't want to talk about it and they don't want to fix it. But then again, let me say that some of these things happen in context. If a woman has reached the age of menopause, naturally, it is possible that she may lose interest in sex. So when you see that, just measure the age and be sure. 26-year-old woman, you can't claim menopause. we have a problem. You understand? It is possible that your spouse could be going through a phase at work where there is intense stress. Maybe he's a finance director for his company. The company is going through some financial issues. Auditors have come and they are going through this, crazy audits for like 5 years. They are doing everything, and this audit is going to take like 3 months. During that period, if your husband or your wife knows that, Charlie, the way that thing is going, if I'm not careful, I can lose my job. Naturally, the last thing they want to talk about is sex. So, in these contexts, you may want to cut them some slack. But ordinarily, when they lose interest in sex, there is nothing, there is no financial problem at home. You guys haven't fought. There is no unresolved conflict. There is no change, tangible, measurable change around them. But all of a sudden, they just lose interest in sex. And they don't want to talk about it. That's the thing. They don't want to fix it. Sometimes I understand as a married person or as married people, sometimes you just drift off. But once one person brings it up, there is that urge to want to fix it. You just want to. But this person doesn't want to talk about it. It is possible. It is possible. They are getting it elsewhere. And for as long as they are getting it elsewhere, it is good. Well, brother, that's the end of your life, man. Oh, sister, another person is taking it. The other one, the reverse is also true. So that's another thing you need to watch. When all of a sudden, your spouse is excited about sex. Yeah? You used to take your 2 minutes like that and go. And then we cannot sleep. I give you 2 minutes, we sleep. 1 round, we sleep. All of a sudden, you want me to be doing that thing plenty. All of a sudden, you want me to ensure that you reach orgasm. All of a sudden, you want 3 rounds. And it is like the demands tend to be a lot and within a short period. Again, it could be that she had a conversation at the salon. And girls were sharing their experience of orgasm. And madam realized that she hasn't orgasmed before. And now she's claiming it. It is also possible that boys gave him some video. And it is on his phone. And he's been watching it. And he's thinking, I can make it better. But otherwise, it is possible. Then again, you see, when somebody tells you something and you want to put it into practice, you don't normally get angry when your spouse resists it because you don't even have a locus. You haven't even tasted the thing. So what is the basis for the fight? But when a woman has gone out and another man has actually given her orgasm, and then she's probably felt bad and she's thinking, no, this orgasm, I have to get some in my marriage to make my marriage work. And the man is not giving it. That's when it becomes a fight. And then you realize that she actually knows what she's saying. When the man is about to ejaculate, Kofi, don't come. No, Kofi, stop. Hold on, Kofi, hold on, faster. Then you know that, madam, where's this one to coming from? Like, yo, what's up? Have you, like all of a sudden, this brother is interested in sex. All of a sudden, he wants to do that thing, turn you over, do it in some place, go here, come here, make it, like now he has problem with everything. It is possible. It is possible that he's gone out. It's when you go out, you go and talk to this, or you go and be with this other person, they open your eyes to so many things that for a long time in your marriage, you've taken it for granted. But you know, a lot of people do these things not because they want to break up their homes. They do these things because so many factors could have precipitated it. But when they go out, they still have a marriage to keep. And so then when they come home, they want to introduce these things they've learned outside into their marriages. Sometimes it's unconscious. But I mean, think about it. If you are with a woman who lies down like a log, do it, get up and go. Then accidentally, your secretary gives you some wild styles. And you realize that, hey, sex can be nice, Papa. And then you come and your wife is lying down like a log, my brother. Before you know, you'll be telling your wife to do something. And you wouldn't even realize you are demanding it. So that in itself gives you a clue that something could be going. Again, I'm saying that we are not taking these things in absolute. It's just a sign that something could be going on. Another thing is when there is a demand for spice. Spice. You know, like all of a sudden, the woman is aware of herself. The man is aware of himself. All of a sudden, they want more. They want to, introduce all these fetish, extreme sexual pleasures, handcuffs, and dildos, and your husband is even suggesting anal sex. And I'm like, yo, where's all this coming from? Like, we used to be okay. We used to be okay with our regular stuff. Like, it is possible that, he's gone out, he's seen something. And when a man that you haven't complained about his erection or his 1 minute business or his lack of stamina, all of a sudden becomes very much aware of himself. The question is, I have not complained for 5 years. Why is it a problem now? Why are you all of a sudden now interested in Viagra, aphrodisiac? And then when you even do your 1 minute, when I am lying down not complaining, you are having a problem with it. I feel so bad, man. I didn't try, baby. It's okay. I'm going to fix this up. Like, what's happening? Like, so then this could tell you that Chale wako baby. I'm a girl be a catcher and say, brah, if you don't up your game, your wife will leave you. Your wife will cheat on you. This game, this 2 minute job, brah, it's not good. And so then he comes home, he becomes so much aware of himself. So that's another thing that's another sign that could tell you that your spouse could be doing something. There's also the general confusion. Confusion. Your wife or your husband becomes a little bit jittery in the house. Absent-mindedness, dropping things, trailing off in conversation. And like I said, a lot of people are caught in infidelity not because primarily they set out to go and cheat. So many things can happen. A typical example, your wife is a secretary, the company is downsizing, she is scared, she's going to be fired. In fact, her name has come that she's going to be fired, and this job means a lot. Goes to boss crying, boss moves from his desk to come and sit where this woman is and trying to console this woman, hands are rubbing through hands. And then the next moment, Charlie, they're on the sofa. And the thing just didn't happen once. It kept happening. This woman is caught in a position where on a normal day she wouldn't have been. So every day she is with the husband, she is scared. And then she's always jittery. She's always confused. She looks at the husband and there is this guilt. And you know, human beings are spiritual. Take it or leave it. And when something is wrong, that's what we call the guts feeling. You realize that there is something wrong with your wife. Or there is something wrong with your husband. Because it is also possible that your husband also is in this situation. He is not really somebody who set out to do that, but it has happened. And you realize that, this is not my husband. This man doesn't seem to be interested again. He's become all lethargic, trudging through the day, not really doing much, not really putting in effort. He's lost his glitter. This is not my husband. You get to find out that there is something that is eating them up. And again, there could be other things that will also make a person behave that way. It could be money. It could be the fact that they are going to be sacked. Or anything could make somebody act that way. But usually, when those things are not explicable, it's becoming very difficult. For instance, you ask the person, I think there is something wrong with you. What is the problem? And they are evasive with the answer, or they don't want to talk about it. Anytime you bring up the subject, they avoid it. Because, I mean, the thing is, they can't lie about it. You know, or even when they want to lie, they fear that the lie is even going to get out of hand and make a lot of things come up. So then the confusion, the general lack of interest and everything, it persists. You know, and the annoying bit is when your spouse keep asking you, baby, are you okay? When you wish they will not even ask you a question, then they will come and say, baby, are you okay? It is like, God, can you just keep quiet and stop tormenting me? You know, it's a sign that something might have gone on, something is going on, or something will go on, and you may want to work about it. Another thing that I also like to talk about is the fact that sometimes, all of a sudden, your spouse becomes very critical of you. Then again, being critical of somebody is a normal thing. Sometimes you are just, you don't like the way they dress. Listen, I've been saying this since we married. I don't like the way you look. I don't like your hairstyle. I don't like this. I don't like that. You've been saying this since. That's different. But where this person is all, I mean, he's cool. Everything is fine. Then all of a sudden, your husband is more interested in your hair. Again, it's possible that this new girl just was employed. This new girl is just slaying everybody in the office. And the husband is thinking, well, I want my wife to slay. So then he starts talking about the hair. Or it is actually possible that there is this girlfriend that has captured him and he judges you through the appearance of the girlfriend. So you don't dress like my girlfriend. You don't look like the girlfriend. You don't appear like the, in fact, you don't even talk like the girlfriend. He becomes very critical. And most often, it's in a very comparative terms. So whenever he tells you, or whenever your wife tells you, for instance, if it is the woman who is having the affair, whenever the woman tells you that you don't dress well, she doesn't just end it there, that baby, you need to dress well. No. She actually goes on to prescribe certain dresses. You see, you need to wear this tight jacket. At least even if you say, oh, you need to wear this tight jacket like the way Leslie Bill has been wearing his tight jacket. At least there is a name to it. But she will never mention a name. Baby, you need to just wear this tight jacket. And then she will go and buy the jacket for you. Sometimes you wonder, where did you know how to get, where did you find these jackets? Like, how did you get to know where to get these jackets? Like, and you realize that she is trying to mold you in the image of somebody because unconsciously she's transferring the pleasures she's getting from outside onto you. And men also do that a lot. They start complaining about the woman's size. They start complaining about her weight. They start complaining about her color. They even start complaining about, okay, let me not say that. Are we learning something? Are we learning something? Oh, who said no? And then your spouse also suddenly becomes interested in social activities that usually are out of town. And usually when he or she is going to these places, they don't want to go with you. Oh, we are going for this program, XYZ. Oh, can we go together? No. When we go, you'll be bored. You know these boys, my boys are very rowdy. And when we go, you'll be bored. Oh, you know my girls, Charlie, these are girls matter. Let's just go and come. And then, oh, my hairdresser's brother's Alsatian dog supplier's wife's cousin died at Nkweu, or Kweu Nkwetia. And we have to go and bury her, or him, or whoever. And we are going Friday after work, and we are coming Monday straight to work. And you're like, so can't I go with you? No, baby, this one. When we go, you don't know anybody there. Myself, I'm even struggling to go, but it's because of my relationship with the hairdresser. That's why I have to go. And then consistently they are traveling. They are becoming more interested in things that they don't want you to go. or you wouldn't be interested in, then you know that it is possible that there is somebody they want to spend time with. Another thing I also like to say is usually when you are in the house, your spouse is bored. They don't want to talk to you. But immediately you are going out, or you sit in the car, or they sit in the car that they want to go out, you realize that there is this life that suddenly come upon them. Of course, when they are in the house with you, they can't chat. They can't be WhatsApping. They can't be giggling. They can't be saying the things they want to say. So once they leave your presence and they are alone, you see that life coming to them. Then they get to be away. They get to talk about their personal fantasies. They get to share things. They get to go to places and do things. So usually when you are alone in the house with your partner and you realize that there is this this miasma around, the house is all heavy, gloomy. You haven't done anything. And the caveat here, at least it is possible you would have done something. It is possible it's something you have said or, an unresolved conflict. But you realize that you can't put your finger on anything. But immediately she sits in the car or he sits in the car that he's going out, you see a change in him. The way he dresses, the way he talks, everything changes. Then you know that it's not good in, it's good outside. My time is pretty much up. Another thing I'd like us to talk about is privacy, which we know. That's why I didn't even start, from the beginning. Privacy, when all of a sudden they become very protective of their phones. I mean, this is your husband, you could use his phone to take pictures, do selfie, do duck face, and, pout and be all silly on the phone and everything. Then all of a sudden your husband doesn't want you to touch the phone again. In fact, even the pictures, he has put password on the pictures. No, baby, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like I'm trying to hide anything. These girls, Charlie, they will send you anything, and it's not like as it is. You may think and you may read different meanings into it. Brother, I mean, really, Charlie, if a girl sends you something and you also respond in the same measure, what do you mean by it? It's not what I think it is. And then the girls will do the same thing. WhatsApp, plenty password. Even their call log, there is password on it. Unnecessary privacy. The guy will be batting. Ladder all over the place. And then the ringtones are always very high when they are not by the phone. So immediately the phone rings, they run, come and pick it with a ladder. I mean, you know that, things are going down and they wouldn't want you to get. Adam, my time is up. The final thing I would like to talk about is when they suddenly pick certain terms, habits, interests, and you can't actually find it in a context. They haven't changed their jobs. They haven't changed their churches. They haven't changed their location. They are still the same people doing the same everyday routine. But all of a sudden you realize that there is a sudden interest. Your wife who doesn't like to read, she can't even read to save her life. Now she's reading John Grisham. Now she's reading Charles Dickens. She's reading Shakespeare. And then now your wife stays up till, what is this? Now when your wife is talking, she sounds like a man, using some masculine terms. Or when your husband is talking, he all of a sudden knows the difference between size 12 and size 14 and size 15, and the fact that you need to do this, you need to trim your tummy to get this shape. And your wife suddenly knows so many things, or your husband suddenly knows so many things. Like, where are you getting all this thing from? It's not like you suddenly made a friend. And trust me, when somebody is your friend and he's not like your buddy, but you don't pick their language, you don't pick their interest. You actually pick interest from people you are emotionally involved with, or you are vulnerable around, or people you see as your mentors. So, ladies and gentlemen, these things are some of the telltales. Like I said, they are not in absolutes. So when you are looking at them, look at them with care, with tact, with a lot of discernment. But when you see some of these things manifesting in your marriage, it is time you may want to have a conversation with your spouse. It is time you may want to introduce somebody, a professional, into your marriage to have a conversation so that you are sure you are on the same page. But most importantly, if you can, pray about it. Thank you very much.
Hello. Have we learned something so far? Are we sure? Okay, great. Do we have questions for PG? And this time we don't want to send questions or write questions on pieces of papers. So you can send your question via WhatsApp to 0262 010 931. But you probably want answers to your questions right now. So we have microphones mounted in between like we do always. You can get to the microphone and then you can ask your question and we have it answered immediately. Anybody out there who has a question, a comment, a contribution? Did I see a hand up? Okay, great.
Okay, PG, thanks for your talk.
Right.
You did mention about sudden changes.
Right.
But I realize a human being is a dynamic person. So sometimes we develop as we grow.
Yep.
How then do you differentiate when your wife or your husband should develop new interest in certain things they didn't like at first?
Okay. Right. So that's what I said initially with the caveats that some of these things happen because human beings, sometimes for like a woman, she may be going through a cycle in life. Then again, when somebody suddenly develops interest in something, it could also be that maybe boys have gathered, they've decided that, oh, let's start playing tennis or let's form a book club. Now, if your spouse suddenly develops an interest in something, I think that is something that they can talk about with you, right? When they come home, it becomes a conversation. Oh, Charlie, want to start some book club. So it's something they can put a finger on or they can help you understand or, take you along. Oh, Charlie, there is this person who is at our workplace who is now teaching us personal grooming. Maybe they brought this HR person who teaches us personal grooming. So, Charlie, they are putting a lot of stress on us. Now, we are giving clothing allowance, or now they expect us to dress in a particular way. So that these sudden changes are in context, okay? And your spouse talks about it. But you know where the person is all of a sudden just bubbling? Like, you see all these butterflies around the person, like the person is just glowing. Or the person is all of a sudden so interested in something, like something very weird. Or something on a normal day they may not even probably be interested in. And they can't tell you what it is. Okay? You try to engage them and they are very evasive with the reasons behind it. Then you know that there is a problem. But then again, I said, some people are naturally secretive. Much ado about nothing. And so for those people too, you need to cut them some slack. But ordinarily, when somebody suddenly changes, and then they can't actually put a finger on it or tell you what it is or why. It could be that there is, in fact, the why can't actually be told.
Has your question been answered? Any more questions? Any more contributions? Comments? Can PG sit down? All right, if we're satisfied, please let's give it up for PG Sebastian. PG, thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. Could your partner be having an affair? And indeed, he issued some caveats before. So all the signs don't necessarily mean that your partner is having an affair. So look before you leap. All right. At this point in time, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. And then our fashion show is coming up shortly. You're going to see the first set of clothes on the runway. We have our wedding gowns. They are by Ruby's Bridal. You can contact her on 0244 235143 or 020 6831 517. She's located in Osu near Asanka Locals. Also, we're going to showcase the wedding guest outfit. So when you're attending weddings, some of the clothes you can wear. And this is by Ajoy Eboa. You can reach her on 024 122 404. And then we are also going to showcase what people wear for their traditional wedding. And that's Kente by Homida. You can also locate him in Kumasi. And then his number is 0248 463 500. Obia Beats provided accessories, and you can contact her on 026 512 5318. But my friends from Millennium Insurance, is Mr. Lajako here? Okay. Is Mr. Lajako here from Millennium Insurance? Oh, okay. Nicolina. I thought we had Adumwa Lajako as well. Or you are doing us the honors. Okay. They have some information for us shortly. Like 2 minutes, they will be done. They have hampers to give away. They also are going to, like I said, very, 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 very juicy, package for people. A fully paid insurance cover to any preferred destination. You get hampers plus 10,000 cedis worth of Millennium Home Insurance. It only gets better. And then second, have hampers, a 10% discount on any product of insurance cover that you sign up for. And then the third, you get hampers as well. You get a 10% discount on any product as well that you buy. I mean, any insurance cover that you buy. Nicolina, please give it up for her.
Thank you, Adam. My name is Nicolina Adumwa Lajako. So it's not Mr. Lajako that is here. Thank you very much. You missed it. Well, good afternoon to everybody. We're very grateful to be proud sponsors of this year's Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair. And I think, PG, you did a good work with your presentation. Why are we here? All that we are saying, when you marry, you go to a home. How secure is your home? 6 years ago, Millennium Insurance came to the insurance scene, providing insurance cover for general businesses, homes, property, construction insurance, travel insurance, and many others. This fair, we present our home insurance for the reasons attributed that when you marry, you go to a home. And we want to make homes out of houses. The product is such that it covers for fire risks in your home, accidents in your home, burglary in your home, your liabilities to third parties that visit your home. I've always made this joke that you could have a party in your home and somebody will have an accident, a tummy upset. There could be casualties right at your door in front of your home. The liabilities are on you. And this package is to make sure that comprehensively any casualties, any events accidentally that occurs in your home is well protected and your investments are well covered. Again, what we are saying is that with our travel insurance policy, of course, we're entering into the holiday season. People will be traveling here and there. And what we are saying is take a travel insurance cover from Millennium Insurance as a trustworthy partner so you can freely travel across the globe, come back with peace of mind instead of bills from medicals, instead of bills from accident, instead of bills from events, unlikely events, loss of your passport, delays of your flights, loss of your luggage. All these are covered under the Millennium Travel Insurance. Of course, we do motor insurance as well, comprehensive insurance, third-party liabilities, and as well as third-party fire and theft. These are a few products that I present to you this afternoon. Millennium Insurance, we say we are an insurer of choice. You take a decision that you want to be a client of Millennium, and you can trust that as and when the need arises, your claims are paid promptly, genuinely, and you will be you attest to the fact that the experience is great with Millennium Insurance. Many a times people talk about insurance companies not paying claims, but I can tell you, the people who have experienced the Millennium brand can testify that we pay our claims. And again, I want to encourage you to come by our stand, discuss with us what your insurance needs are, and we'll give you the advice that you need. We are proud to be here and grateful. We'll see you again next year, bigger and better as a trustworthy partner. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicolina, and we're happy that you're always part of us. Let me also remind us that we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube and on all our social media handles that allows us to stream. That's the piece of information I have for you there. And I hope you're sending your questions as well. In a bit, we'll be hearing from Mrs. Theresa Riafe Asante. She is a family life counselor, and she will be speaking on familiarity and childbirth and familiarity can kill the passion in your marriage. But right about now, Bridal, we have something spectacular coming up for you.
Thank you very much, DJ Bridal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if you're here and you're happy to be here, you're happy to be a part of the Joy 99.7 FM family, then you want to put your hands together. Wow, we're glad to be here, and of course we'd like to say a very big thank you to all of our guests and all of our speakers today who have educated us adequately and are getting us ready for that special day. We're telling you that today, for Joy FM's Beauty and Bridal Fair 2018, we're preparing you for that big day in a very special way. Remember, we're not doing only talking, we're doing talking, and we're bringing you the apparels from the best designers you can find in town, as well as the biggest and finest accessory makers in town as well. You'd want to sit back, you'd want to just relax, you want to just tap your partner on the shoulder, send those messages, and tell them that you're here at the Accra International Conference Center. Remember as well that we are live on social media on the Joy FM wall. Well, I'm sure that everybody's wondering, who's this young man, semi-bald, trying to impose himself on us this late afternoon? Well, my name is Nathaniel Atto, BKA Citizen Atto. I'll be keeping you microphone company, and I know that we're going to have a good time together. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fashion show. We're doing suits and gowns right about now. Enjoy yourselves.
It's your country, na sentia. Meti madrim na mafemu wa bentino. Ukoda kayo, odo. Sadafu biriba nadi. me by me. I wanna make a one lose your woman. Drop out is a baby woman. TNT and Yatia. Tika sent you a deep bag on the baby. Sabuani was front a grab a phone. The pretty bit drama, young you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Rebecca Darko, Miss Bex, and she is on Joy Prime, and she brings us entertainment news. Right about now on the stage, Doreen, a viewer of the Joy Prime channel, and my man Daniel Dazzy, the host of the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And now, ladies and gentlemen, one big surprise.
If you think there is somebody beside you,
DJ Black,
it's killing your soul, destroying your heart, it's killing your soul, destroying
and ladies
your
and
heart.
gentlemen, these are exquisite gowns from Ruby's Bridal, and all of our grooms are styled by custom looks.
If you think there is somebody beside you, if you
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most consistent newscasters of our time, an award-winning
destroying
newscaster,
your heart,
Israelite.
it's killing
Put your hands
your
together,
soul,
ladies and gentlemen.
destroying your heart. You are number one. Hey, hey.
They call him I to the double ZY, Israelite. Israelite is in a smooth sea blue three-piece suit with a self-tied bow tie. And of course, guess who's here? Sammy Forson and his bride, Baba Kando of Joy Sports. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. I just heard someone say I've never seen Sammy Forson in a blazer before, in a tuxedo before. That's the man for you. So that tuxedo from Custom Looks and that beautiful gown from Ruby's Bridal. Put your hands together one more time, ladies and gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to present to you Kofi Tando and Arabakuse.
Said the ground was up, not down, so come to me, bro.
Arabakuse is our bride, and Kofi Tando is our groom. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the Troy Beats and Bridal Fair brochure is going for 15 Ghana cities. Grab it and you're going to see more of these styles, more of these models. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my pizza Sabini of Joy News and the man Lexus Bill, host of Prime Time on Joy 99.7 FM. On stage doing the catwalk right now are a couple for the 2018 Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair, Lexus Bill and Mapitso Sabidi of Joy News. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, George Riafe, assisting Joy Business Editor. One of our grooms for the 2018 Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair. Put your hands together and show some love. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you all of our models for the suit and gown theme for the Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair. This is the finale.
Anywhere you there, I go there. I said it go.
whatever you want, I go hustle. Baby, take my heart, baby, carry go. If you think I go leave you, God forbid, yeah. If you leave me, die be this year. You dey show me things I can't resist, yeah. I go mention your name to the whole wide world. It be you that give me joy,
Hold on. All right. I have a special request before they exit. Can I have Mr. and Mrs. Tando do the catwalk for us? Baba, you and your husband are getting married all over again. Let's have the two of you. You exchanged partners today, but hey, Mr. Tando, this is a lawful couple. Let's give it up for them. Oh, we can do better. Yay! They didn't know this was coming up. Oh, wow. Interesting. But they all look very amazing and gorgeous. Thank you very much. They have more to show you. Please, let's do it better for them before they go. Thank you very much. My teammates. In fact, we can look at them all day. Thank you, thank you. You are looking gorgeous, amazing. Next is we're bringing a band for you and Maps. All right, thank you very much. I hope you're having a good time. Are you having a good time? It's a packed event. We're not done yet. So I will implore you to have a lot of patience. There are lots more performances coming your way. We have 2 more, apparels to showcase, and then 3 more speakers to go. But Mrs. Theresa Wiafe Asante right now is speaking on childbirth and familiarity can kill the passion in your marriage. So what do you do about it? Please, let's do it better for her. Let's do it better. She's the Osofo Mami with swag.
I want to do my own catwalk
Oh my God. If you want to go make you mine, if you want to go love you die, anything you want, baby, say I go buy.
Hello.
So if you want to go make
Hello. Good afternoon. Don't mind me. I was telling them my husband must marry me again, as in wedding me again. All right. Okay, that's fine. The wedding dresses are beautiful, very, very beautiful. And I think at 30 years, when I'm celebrating 30 years of my marriage, I would buy one of them and have another wedding. Sure, I will have another wedding. I am coming from a wedding. I mean, this morning at 11 o'clock, I was at a wedding. And when I sat and I looked at the young, beautiful couple, I was just happy. I love weddings. I was telling the doctor, look how heaven is going to look. I mean, heaven is going to look beautiful with all of us dressed like brides, according to Revelations. when I sat through the wedding and I listened to them sharing the vows, I dropped a tear unconsciously. And I asked myself, do these two young people know what awaits them? Do they understand exactly what they are getting into? I listened to every little word in the vows they were sharing. The words are special. They are very strong words. I'm wondering, will they be able to go through all of these words that they have spoken to each other? They are vows. They are not ordinary words. Marriage is beautiful, isn't it? Hello. Do I have a witness here? Marriage is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. It is supposed to be one of life's greatest joys. It is supposed to be one of life's greatest joys. But I can tell you, if you don't know what to do, marriage can be like an albatross on your neck. And there are quite a number of people, if God should quickly say that all Christians gather, today I give you the permission, audacity, go out, break your marriage, divorce your wives. You can imagine the number of lanes or lines we would have. There are too many people who are set ready to let their wives or their husbands go. They just don't know what it is. This bridal fair and everything around it is beautiful. It is nice. But I'm wondering, after the gown and after the suits and after the makeup has been cleaned off, what do you have as much as the marriage is concerned? It is true. It is beautiful. On your big day, you must look special. But is it all about the dresses? Is it all about the suits? Is it all about the cakes? Is it all about all of these things? Is it all about the pomp and pageantry, the hula baloo, like my little daughter will say, all about the hula baloo around it? There's a lot more to marriage than all of these, though this is where it begins. As a young couple run through the journey of marriage, quite a number of things come and happens on their journey. One of the things that happens on their journey is childbirth, or giving birth to children, either 1 or 2 or 3 or 10. Children are great. They are wonderful. I always pray for the couple who are still waiting on God for children to be birthed in their union. Let me quickly say here that if children have still not been birthed in your union, keep trusting God and keep praying. Don't make it your wife's trouble or your trouble. It is nobody's trouble. The doctors are here. Perhaps when they come in, they will tell you what else to do to be able to have them. But I strongly believe that these children can have a huge toll on our relationship. I mean, the passion that we both have as a couple. I have always had this in mind. If two young people are friends, they have not discussed marriage yet, nobody has proposed to the other person, and in their friendship, somebody gets pregnant, and usually it's the woman who will get pregnant. Do men get pregnant? No. So the woman gets pregnant. Over the last many years, I don't know what you think, but this is what I think. I think that if they have not talked about marriage, they have not ever discussed marriage, they are friends. I am not sure that parents have to push marriage down their throat. Marriage is a huge, huge institution. And that is why it is said that don't enter into it unadvisedly or lightly. It is interesting to know that these days a lot of us are entering into marriage unadvisedly and we are taking it lightly. So when the children start coming in, they take a huge toll on us, and then many other things come in its wake. Passion fizzles out completely, and there's a point where you feel that this is not the man I married. This is not the woman I bargained for. The truth is that this is the woman you married. This is the man you bargained for. You didn't know that there is too much to marriage than there is to a wedding. So many of us are giving a lot of attention to our weddings, making sure that everything is prim and proper, everything is on point, forgetting that the marriage journey is a long one. I have done 27 already, and I'm still counting. I mean 27 years, not 27 marriages. I have done 27 years already. Like I said, children are a beautiful thing, but they have a lot of work coming with them. Can I quickly let you understand this truth? I said this yesterday to a man, and he said, I don't understand you. But I want to let you understand, husband, wife, that the children are not the reason for the marriage. When I sat through the wedding today, the pastor was proclaiming or declaring them husband and wife. He did not declare the children who would be born again after the marriage also as husband and wife as part of them. The marriage basically is between the two of you, just you two, you and your wife. The children who come along are only an inclusion on the marriage. If you are conversant with your Bible, Psalm 127 will tell you that they are only a blessing to the marriage. I will again quickly want to say that for the fact that the children are an inclusion on the marriage, if anybody, man or woman, is marrying only because they want to have children, you have missed it from the beginning. They are a great joy, they are a source of pride for every family. But if your children are the only reason why you are married, then certainly when they come along, your passion for the marriage will die off without you noticing that it is dying off. They are just an icing on the cake. The truth is that with or without children, every marriage should be able to work as much as possible. They are not an absolute necessity to your marriage relationship. Many years, can I move? Oh, I can move. Oh, I should pick it up. That's fine. I am not used to standing at one place. My first ever travel in this life was 8 years ago, and I was traveling to Switzerland. Now, when we were all on board, if you have traveled, you know what I'm talking about. It was my first ever. And this young lady comes and starts telling us what to do in the situation of an emergency. This is the emergency exit. This is what happens. This is that, and this is that. Then she said, if you are here on board and you happen to be with a child, a little child, in the event of an emergency, make sure that you are putting on all of your safety gadgets before you attend to the children. Immediately, my motherly instinct came to play. What is she talking about? Certainly she's not, perhaps she doesn't have children. That is what I told myself. Through the journey, I kept thinking about it. Why would this lady say this? Is that what they were trained to tell people? No. If you're a mother and you know that children are so important, said that they should be taken care of first. I rested and I started thinking through it again. Then I said, yes, it is true. You can't give what you don't have. And so if you can't give what you don't have, then it means that you need to be safe to be able to save the other true people that are with you. And that is so true. It appears that in our part of the world, I don't know about other places, our children have been made to feel, or husbands and wives have been made to believe that the children are the most important thing in the marriage. So if they are not here, if you are not taking care of them enough, then we are not doing anything. I want to reiterate this. They are only an inclusion on your marriage. They are just an icing on the cake. That is why every marriage must of necessity be able to work if even children do not come. They are just a blessing. Sometimes whilst the children come, if you both as young people or a couple have not learned to live with yourself, they come and they throw you apart completely. I keep advising young couples, you see, when you marry, there is a time to adjust and adapt. And in the process of adjusting and adapting should take you at least 1 or 2 years. I keep telling them, if you can, why won't you delay childbirth for at least 1 year? At least for 1 year. You see, you have been friends, you have been courting for 5 years, 7 years. A couple came to me and they said they have been courting for 7 years. I said, why? If a man has not married you after 5 years, don't continue this relationship. What is that? Courtship alone, 7 years. Is it not doctorate degree and housemanship all together? If after 4 years the man is saying nothing, most of them, 60%, 70%, there will be no marriage. Leave. Go. Tell the man that if you are not ready to marry me, let me go and sow my wild oats somewhere. Perhaps I will be fortunate. Don't keep sitting there and tell everybody, I have been here for 7 years, and after the 7 years, my friend, move. I keep telling sisters, move. Don't. What is that? What at all are you studying? What do you want to see, brother? Oh, what's that? The truth here is that no matter how long you have been with your girlfriend or with your fiancé or with your fiancé, when you get married, the leap is a huge one. So when you come together, you always meet your girlfriend at the mall, at where? Where do you meet them? I don't know Accra too well. You meet them at the mall, you meet them at other places, all beautiful, all dressed up. When you get married, it is time, no matter how long you have been together, it is time for rediscovery. To discover again. And at this time, you are staying together. This man sleeps and begins to snore. And you are like, wow, is this how you snore? Like thunder. What is that? But you must make do with it, because for the next 40 years, this is how this man, you are going to be lying by him, snoring like that. You must be prepared for it. That is what you have not been prepared for. This is when familiarity comes in. I thought I married a gentleman. Why do in the night? In fact, it is either you are using a pillow to cover your ears, or you are sitting up, or you are sleeping at the living room. But if you decide to sleep at the living room, he will come back for you because something else must happen. It is important that when you get married, wait small. But usually, you see, most of our girls are pregnant already before we are taking them to the altar. That is also for another day. So while she's there, the marriage is finished. 3 months she has given birth. You are asking the doctors, is it premature birth? No, this is full term. Please wait a while. 1 year, rest, bond well with your new husband. If you understand your Bible a little, in Old Testament times, you are supposed to have 1 year of honeymoon. 1 year, one long year. After 1 year, you have had enough bonding. You have had enough sex. You have had enough twists and turns. You have done all there is to do. You have learned to know the person a little more. Don't rush into having children. They come with a lot of work. And if you are not prepared mentally, physically, financially to receive them when they come, sometimes they are a burden, a huge burden. And when they become a burden, they enter into your union, your closeness as a couple. When the child comes in immediately, she wants a lot of attention. And yes, the attention that must be given to your husband or to your wife is being given to the baby. It is understandable, isn't it? Before you know, you are drifting apart slowly. Your husband comes and touches you. So the first thing that starts to go out is the passion for sex. You don't want it. You are tired. That little baby is giving you a lot of trouble all through the day. So you want to rest. If you are a very young couple who have been married for the last 3 or 4 years and you are not having sex 4 times in a week, the doctor will tell you, yes. Me at 52, I am having sex 2 times in a week. What should you be at 30 not be doing? What are you doing? Stop asking your husband that who the only man in you see, the last time I said somewhere, everything in this life can be outsourced. Is it outsourced? You see your best friend. So when you are tired, you go and tell her, and then you my brepa out my make a cry. Has it ever happened? You see, that is the more reason why all this dress and all of this thing. there's one thing, apart from many other things, there is one thing. If you do it to your sister, why didn't you marry your sister or your mother? If you do it to your sister, it is incest. The laws of Ghana and the laws of God are against it. Childbirth is true, it is fine. But when they come with a lot of burden and work. Are you ready for the work? It is important to learn to bond so well with your partner before you begin to give time to planning for children. In our part of the world, we don't plan to get pregnant. Do we? Hello? You just get pregnant before you know your wife comes to you and says, I didn't ask me you're pregnant. I you're pregnant. For the first one, we all are happy about it. Just 1 year. You know, usually between the first and the second born, it is 1 year. It is usually 1 year. And so the children can be a lot of work, and they can really kill the passion in your marriage because you are giving them full attention, and because you don't even know how to prioritize that it is you and your husband and not you and your children. Your children will soon grow, and they will also become somebody's husbands. Now, none of my children is living with me. Everybody has left. It is an empty nest. That is why I keep telling husbands, don't let the children pitch you against each other. Because very soon when they all leave, if you as a couple have not learned to build friendship, it becomes an empty nest. And you can't live with each other. It is time to begin to prioritize. In God's order of things, it is God, your spouse, your children, your work. Is it fine? But there are so many people, it is their job. It is not even God. It is their work, their children, and then their wives or their husbands. I have seen a lot of husbands who have no little respect for their wives, but for their children. I've seen women who have no little respect for their husbands, but for their children. They will do everything for their children, but not their husbands. Because they have been made to understand or believe that your children are your future investment. Now, this is the the socialization we have been given over the years. It is not working well for us. It is killing the passion in many marriages. So after one child, even sex has become drudgery. It is a lot of work. Hello. If you want to get back the passion into your marriage, prioritize well. Make your partner, your spouse, the first after God. Your children will also grow and go out very soon. And that is very, very important. As a young couple or as old couples, learn to build a sense of companionship. It is so, so key. Very, very important. Let us leave this children matter. Because no matter what you say about children, they are only an addition. If they are made the main thing, there is problem. When we get married, there are many things that we were doing for our spouses, or our partners when we were single. We get married. You start knowing who you have married. And then you are expecting too much. Sometimes it is that too much of expectation that kills the passion. And because you are expecting too much, you come home with your wife, with your husband, he is not doing the too much you are expecting. Then you begin to, what is happening? What is happening? I thought he was a gentleman. I thought she was a lady. A few little mistakes are happening, little flaws here and there, and then you are beginning to magnify them. Before you know, you are taking the other person for granted. Many husbands and wives are taking each other for granted, so much such that it has fizzled out completely the passion in their marriage. I heard this story 3 days ago. A woman turned 50. And her husband just said, baby, these days I call my husband baby. I know that is the in thing. When you call him baby, I'll say, oh, you too. I say, my friend, go when I'm in crocker. I dare no. So, so for some time, today, he was looking fine. And I said, Charlie, we a fine boy. I say, at 56. I said, what is that? Even at 70, you are my finest boy. When I wore this dress, he said, hey, Ajwa, still out here, Chico. You have not said that to your wife in a very long time. That is familiarity. In fact, your wife is looking all trim and proper. At 52, don't I look fine? And my Osofo husband wants to play spirituality. So he can't say that, baby, we a chick. That one too, is it too much of something to say? That is familiarity. When we get to church and he sees one sister and say, Sister Agnes, you are looking fine. No matter my spirituality, I will look at him like, what? What is that? Kumasi Kaya Mranti, Biana Kaya for what are you talking about? Now, when you want the end, I want to make you see, this is familiarity. You have not told your wife in a very long time that she's looking fine. But you go out and you tell other people they are looking fine. When your wife is around, she goes like, this is my husband. What is happening to him? Now, this woman celebrated 50. And at 50, her husband took her out with her children and they had a little lunch. 2 months or 3 months into it, the man has always had a very best friend who is a woman, a lady. And the lady also celebrated 50. And she lives in US. And the husband said, oh, you know that my friend, she's celebrating 50. I want to go and surprise her. So he cuts ticket, aeroplane ticket, and flies all the way to America. He goes along with $2,000 and tells his wife, oh, Ajwa, you see that my friend there, she has been very helpful to us over the years. Give me $1,000 so I will give it to her in your name. The man goes to America and comes back after a month, staying with her friend and family to celebrate 50 years. Tell me, is that not taking somebody for granted? Which 50 is different from the other 50? Is it two different 50s? But that is where familiarity has crept in. And so we are taking each other for granted so much that we don't even see. Sisters, I beg you, you are married to your husband, you are not married to your brother. And whenever you get into your bedroom, it is your sanctified area. Now, when you are going into your bedroom, if you have not taken your husband for granted, go buy new lingeries. Go buy new sets of pants and braziers. Don't go, you bath. Now, when you are finished bathing, you put powder on your body. Powder on your body everywhere. You put cover cloth. Then you go and lie by the man. What kind of life is that? Is it not the passion that has fizzled out? Men don't touch like that. I can force in Sophie. There are times when Sophie doesn't quench fire. You see, dress your body when you are going to sleep. Let your husband see you lie down and say that, wow. Still, after 27 years, when I pass in front of my husband, the man must have an erection. If he doesn't have, I have problem. He must though. So on days when I have been very naughty and I want to apologize, it is a beautiful apology. I will only bath when the man is lying down. And when I finish bathing, I will not dress up in a hurry. I will be doing all the things. Before you know, he's looking at you. I look through the mirror and I see the man is watching me. I said, Papa, you want? I said, oh, Mama, don't need that. And you need that. Stop this. Don't let familiarity kill the passion. There are still wives who cook their husband's food. And for the last 4 years, your husband has been eating from the same plate, from the same set of cutlery. 4 years. You have new guests. They come in and you are serving them with all of the beautiful ones in the showcase. Is it not familiarity that is killing the passion? Don't you think so? Don't you think so? Hello. Hi. If you tell me that you don't remember my 26th February birthday, my husband will tell me he has forgotten. Why? Husbands, bring back the love. Bring back the passion. You can always bring back the passion. You see, love is a seed. It does not grow by itself. It grows by you working on it. Especially for Christians. Don't stop this whole thing that God will do it for me, God will do it for me. Get down, work on your marriage. Get down, work on your marriage. It's a lot of work. Your husband is not a foolish man. The part I don't like at all is the Christian sisters. Your husband, you have no little respect for the man. You respect your pastor. Every nonsense the man says, you agree to it. But you don't respect your husband one bit because perhaps you are paying a little more than he is paying. Perhaps you have a little, your job is paying a little better than he's paying. So you have made him, yes, please stop that. If even you are the biggest woman in this land with the biggest job and you decided to marry one man who sweeps by the street, when you come home, he's your husband. You do not assume the role of a husband at all. No man will allow you to take his, I was going to say manhood. He means no, he won't allow you to take his leadership out of his hands. Every man will fall in love with a woman who makes him feel strong, who makes him feel intelligent, who makes him feel able, no matter what he is. Bring back respect into your marriage, sister. Bring back respect. If you don't respect him for anything, respect him for the position he occupies as your leader. He is your leader, you like it or not. If you marry the foolish man, then it is your problem. You see, in this life, I have never seen a headless body walking. Have you seen before? Body walking doesn't have a head. The role of the head of a husband in your family is amazing. And you can't do anything about it. Give him back his respect. Give him back his honor. Talk to him like a human being. Don't talk to your husband like your son. When you are going to marry at engagement, don't say that. Take your husband like your firstborn. Grandmothers who say that, don't say that. No man wants to be married to his mother. Can you sleep with your mother? What is that? Husbands, it is time. It is time to date your wives again. To court them again. To speak into their ears again. For what sobra na men kebi bincho wo ma ware wan kan bigusu na makra ma boda men na mlori kwan mu won se do hwe ne sa say na kawe de ma ware wan kan hwan bi no be ware ma ye wadom papa jai. Marriage is not about who has done anybody favor. Nobody has favored anybody. In fact, if there is favor, we have both favored each other. Aware kra me ma na ye ma mo na onim. Let me end here. Adam is right here. He is your priest. He is your prophet. Above all, he is your king. Make him feel like that. She is your queen. Above all, let the children rest. Let every other thing rest. When you go back home, those who have not had good sex in a long time, sister, go and try a few skirmishes today. Small. Stop this one. That one is crucify me. It is enough. You have been crucified enough for too long. Something. Sometimes I bring some things. Osofo said this one, Osofo Mami can't do. I said God is not here in our room. God is happy about the things we do. Let me end here by saying, marriage is beautiful. If you don't know what to do, counselors, professional counselors are around. Let them help you. Your husband for life, your wife for life. God bless you.
God bless you. Wow, please don't go away. I noticed one thing when she was speaking. Also, Mommy, let's go this way. Please, how many inches heel are you wearing? At 50. At 52. Wow. Please, let's give it up for her again. I think she's a fine example. Mama T has kept herself well. We appreciate you. Let me see, are there people here who attend CEM, where I fellowship? Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry. Anybody here? Anybody here? Okay. When Mama T was speaking, I remembered one thing Reverend Steve said last week Sunday. Tate, where are you? What did he say? Lie down well. After doing everything as a woman, he says when you go to the room, lie down well. I don't know what that means. The whole year. Don't wait for the man to come and tell you that. Just make yourself available. But Mama T, thank you very much. At a point, I'm sure the men were saying that, tell them. Is it not true? But quickly, the coin flipped. And it was like nobody is doing anybody a favor. If there's anybody who is being favored, we are all favoring each other. Abby? Wow. Do we have any questions, any comments? Questions, comments, contributions? Quickly? Oh, we have had enough. We're full. We will digest this one and work with it. Thank you very much, Mrs. Teresa Wiafia Sante. Please give it up for her one more time. Thank you. This is the marriage seminar fused with the fashion show for the 2018 edition of the Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair. We've been doing this for over 15 years. Gone by, PG Sebastian has spoken to us on the topic, could your partner be having an affair? We had some wonderful performances from Dan Satera. Adakwe serenaded us as well. And then your favorite Joy FM personalities were on stage. Right about now, who has heard the song? I don't have a very good voice. Jollof no day, party no day. Sing along. Great. Solo 7 is ready. Solo 7 is ready to serenade us a bit before we go on with the rest of the program. Please give it up for him.
Good afternoon. I go by the name Solo 7. I'm here to serenade you. I hope you're having a good time.
Do you believe there are angels all around us? Do you believe in dreams coming true? Do you believe everybody has someone special for them? I believe my someone is you. Do you feel the magic in the air? Do you see the sparkle in the sun? Do you know I have been waiting for you all my life? Now we are together as one. Oda mini wa, oda mini wa, mi do ya si de be si biara mi no betina mini wa, oda mini wa, oda mini wa, mi do ya si de be si biara mi no betina mini wa. Do you believe in making history? We will leave our fingerprints behind. We will give a whole new meaning to love. Come what may, forever you are mine. Oh, the meaning one, oh, the meaning one. Mi wara mi do ya si de be si biara mi no betina mi ni wa. And found ye beba, wakume, mintida. And found ye besi, minewa, betina. And found ye beba, wakume, minewara. La, 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 la. And found ye beba, wakume, mintida. And found ye besi, minewa, betina. And found ye beba, wakume minewara. La 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 la.
Thank you so much. Once again, I go by the name Solo 7. You can find me on social media, Solo 7 Music, SOLLO, the number 7 Music, on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC, GTV. All right, I'm here to do the song everybody has been talking about lately, especially Nigerians. They've been telling us that we can't cook jollof, but we want to show them that we can cook jollof. Ghana jollof or Niger jollof? All right. Na, na. You can snap along like this. Listen. Let me tell you delicious story about how to make jollof. It is wonderfully novitoli, you can never have enough. Your pan on the fire, oil and onions, tomatoes and spices, go ginger the meko, chicken or meat, go welcome the rice, add your water, and you wait. Is it ready? How long we go wait? When it go be ready? Oh, if your love no day, party no day. Yeah, baby. Okay, break it down. Your love no day, party no day. You say, yeah, baby, your love. Can we do that? All right. One night. Hey, if your love no day, party no day. If your love no day, party no day. If your love no day, party no day. If your love no day, party no day, party no day, party no day. Let me tell you delicious story about how to make jollof. It is wonderfully novitoli, you can never have enough. Listen, your pan on the fire, oil and onions, tomatoes and spices, go ginger the meko, chicken or meat, go welcome the rice, add your water and you wait. Is it ready? How long we go wait? When it go be ready? Oh, if your love no day, party no day. Let's go! If your love no day, party no day. If your love no day, party no day. If your love no day, party no day, party no day. Listen. If you the canzo, get the feelings, get the feelings, get the feelings. If you the canzo, get the soul, get the soul, get the soul. If you the canzo, be the business, be the business, be the business. If you the canzo, get the power, hey, the canzo, get the power. So if I say, if you the canzo, get the feelings, you say. If you the cancer get the feelings, you say the cancer get the feelings. If you the cancer get the nutrients, hey. If you the cancer be the business, hey. If you the cancer get the power, hey. If your love no day, party no day. If your love no day, party no day. Oh, if your love no day, party no day. If your love no day, party no day. Yeah, baby, your love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
better. I take my heart, baby, carry go. If you leave me, baby, I go die. Hey, me baby, me brownie, yeah. Golden tree chocolate, yeah. Me chatoli, yeah. Each and every day, yeah. My own, that time of the chase, and then no money there. My own, see my heart back, push it up, and they grind for my kenge. My own, like the air, and the feel for everywhere I go. My own, see the money, baby, come chop on for me, oh. And I've been saying, what's up in here? What's up in here?
All right.
Chat to me, yeah. Chat to me, girl, yeah. Wait time make I carry you. Champagne and I was the Malibu. Hey. And then
One, two. That's right. Thank you very much. Are you having a good time? No, I can't feel it. Are you having a good time? Amazing. So please put your hands together for yourselves. You've been amazing. Now, please drop the music for me, brothers. How do I look? Like an angel, right? Nimo Kafui or Ayeta Frem? Ayeta Frem. You, this lady, are bad, man. Right? Anyway, thank you so much, and we're glad you're having a good time. This is the Marriage Seminar. I think you're learning something good as well, aren't we? Awesome. Now we have another special fashion segment for you, and these amazing African designs were put together by two amazing designers, Odiniho Clothing and Ajwa Yabua. Our ladies are looking elegant. Now, these are ideas you could take to a wedding as a wedding guest, or, yeah, some of the sort, or even to my party, or to Obinim's church. Hallelujah. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Yes. If you're ready, please put your hands together for my wonderful bride, Mapitso. Ladies and gentlemen, Doreen Avio in a wonderful outfit made by Ajwa Yabua. Doreen Avio looking elegant in this Ajwa Yabua piece, and Becky Bex Zonko, Alvin Tracy on stage now. Joy News. Beautiful creation by Ajwa Yabua. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause now for Mimi. She's with our set design team at the Multimedia Group Limited. Mimi looking elegant and very beautiful in this Ajwa Yabua piece. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Baba Tando Joy Sports on Joy 99.7 FM. Joy News. Looking sleek. Baba Tando. Classic. Pretty. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Araba Kumsen. Araba Kumsen of Joy News. In this lovely outfit by Ajwa Yabua. The ladies are looking really pretty, ladies and gentlemen. I bring on another brother, Sammy Forsen. A round of applause for Sammy Forsen in his wonderful Odeniho wear. Okay, that's right. Brasami. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Blackness. His Royal Blackness. DJ Black. I call your name 10 times. Mr. Black in his wonderful Odeniho piece. Weekend Warmer. And of course, open house party. Now a round of applause for host of the Super Morning Show, Daniel Dadzi. Daniel Dadzi, host of the Super Morning Show, in his elegant Odeniho Agbada. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Kofi Tando. Kofi Tando with our engineering department, Mr. Kofi Tando. Baba Tando's one and only. And now, Superman, George Wiafe. Joy Business. A round of applause. George Wiafe, aka Superman. Ladies and gentlemen, the sleek, smooth, sensational Israel Israel Live. Ladies and gentlemen, Joy Sports' very own definition of elegance and one of your favorite masters of ceremonies, Nathaniel Atto, PKA Citizen Atto. In his lovely Odeniho Agbada. That's the brother, Nathaniel Atto. Ladies and gentlemen, now a round of applause for all your models and presenters of Joy 99.7 FM. Put your hands together as they come out on stage. Please put your hands together for our wonderful models.
Donkey so
That's right. It's your lie, George Weafe. That's right. A round of applause for these wonderful gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much.
A better round of applause to the wonderful Joy FM team. You can only but love this team. Somebody was saying that, the walk-ins, we're not professional models, but we have done well, haven't we? Before we go, I will do my own walk. Let's see how well I do. But another round of applause to the team. They have done well. From going to fit this clothes, going for the photo shoot, rehearsing for all of these, just to give you a lot of pleasure. And I hope we're doing just that. Thank you very much for being our guest. We love you very much. All right, next stop, preparing for a satisfying sexual experience. But let me invite Kwab Asamoah. Kwab Asamoah, where are you? Please give it up for this man. When he gets on stage, I'll tell you why you have to do that. Great. From Custom Looks, am I right? Kwab Asamoah, please come up on stage. We appreciate you very much. You saw the wedding gowns that were the gowns with the suits that came. He made all the tucks for the guys. You indeed deserve an applause. I didn't ask them to clap for you, but they're doing just that. They saw the designs, they loved them, and he's the brain behind it. You want to say a word quickly?
Wakanda forever. We're just happy to make clothes right here from Ghana using our raw materials that can compete on an international level. Come see us at Ajingano.
Yes, did I heard you say it again.
Come see us. We're in Ajingano, Abu.
You're where? Say it again.
Ajingano.
Ajingano. It's Ajingano. Say it again.
I brothalized it.
Please. We're in Ghana. So when Ajingano, say it.
Ajingano.
If I know you're not this long, but hey, Kwab, thank you very much. Okay. Great. If I know you're Ghana, okay, Jingano. Yesterday I kept hearing him, and Jingano, I'm like, but I live around the area. The place is Ajingano. Dr. Yao Osafo, the drive doctor, preparing for a satisfying sexual experience. Please give it up for him.
Thanks, Adam, and good evening to you all. Lovely gowns, flowers. Today I've seen a lot of bridal stuff. Today is also a Saturday. So, if these were real couples, what do you think is going to happen tonight? It means you. This is not a Jingano. This one, you have to say it. What do you think is going to happen tonight? Fire! Somebody said it. Fire! So I'd like to acknowledge wonderful presentation by PG. And then, as for this also for Mami, imagine a number. But the last two presentations are going to be about fire. Preparing for a satisfying sexual experience in marriage. The moment I got this topic, The first thing that came to my mind was an Akan adage that goes like this. Ubia nchre akola nyame. Ye nchre akola nyame. You don't have to teach any child about God. People or a child grows up and they know that God exists. So do we really need to prepare for a sexual experience in marriage? Can't we just know what to do? Doesn't it just come naturally? Or we have to take a course? GHS, SS, Poly, or university course? Well, the simple answer is yes, you need to prepare. We need to prepare for that satisfying sexual experience. And we qualify that experience. We say satisfying. So in preparing, I had a difficult task. It's like, how am I going to define a satisfying sexual experience? I'm sure everybody has their own interpretation. Dr. Padiaite is shaking his head. He's come to talk about orgasms later. So probably some of us would define a satisfying sexual experience as one that ends with an orgasm. I'm sure if we go around the room, everybody would have their own definition. So, this is what I came up with. A satisfying sexual experience is any sexual experience that leaves the participants longing for more or wanting to do it again. This one is very generic. I'm not going to talk about what goes into it. But if at the end of the day you want to do it again and again, then obviously something must be sweet about it. The fire must be burning. So we need to know a lot about sex or the whole sexual experience. Sexual function is a very complex process. It is dependent on biological factors, psychological factors, and social factors, which all come to play. So in the next 15 minutes, we're just going to look at the preparatory steps. We are assuming that we are all going to do nothing before the night, the main night. So we need to prepare. So what are the preparatory steps? Number 1, learn about sex. Educate yourself about sex. So how do you do it? It is something that most of us find very difficult to approach openly. But a lot of us do it under the cover of darkness. These days, we've all got phones and information right here, fingertips. You tap, and then you can get a lot of information. So what do you have to learn, actually? I think that's the main question. What do you have to learn? Well, let's start with the biological factors. Let's look at the biological factors that can influence whether or not you would have a satisfying sexual life. Every now and then I'll get couples in my consulting room and then they will come with a complaint. Oh, these days my husband or my wife, she's not up for it. It's not there anymore. The word is libido. Libido. An individual's overall desire for sex. Many times when we are growing up, we tend to suppress those thoughts. If you are religious, we tend to classify those thoughts as sinful thoughts. But how do you think you get the desire for sex? We've talked about familiarity and all of that can, affect your overall desire for sex. But there are biological factors as well. We call it libido.
Your biggest sexual weapon, and I'm talking to the men, it's not the thing down there. Most men, when we ask them what their biggest sexual weapon is, they begin to look south. Well, look north. It's your brain. Good sex literally starts from the mind, and I would explain as part of the biological processes. There are parts of the brain, we call those parts the higher cortical centers. You know what their primary responsibilities, or the primary responsibility of that area? Fantasy. So what is fantasy? So you go out, somebody's dressed nicely, they walk up to you. With the men, unless we are wearing cervical collar, then the head will move left and right. We want to take some measurements, vital stats. Then you begin to have ideas. Then you begin to wish for things that you would want to do in different places. It's a part of the brain that you need to harness to be able to do that. So if there are issues with that part of the brain, you are not able to fantasize. And that's how it all starts. A very important biological factor. You need to be able to undress the opposite sex with your brain. You see, sometimes because of the way we've been brought up, then you think that those thoughts are evil. But what is evil about it? Also, mommy will tell you that you don't just start, then you go to the room, pine. No. I don't know how well developed that part of the brain is in women, but I know that for my colleague men, that part of their brain is sharp. If you know, be brave. Then there's another part of the brain, we call it the master gland. It releases hormones. My favorites, hormones. So we have different types of hormones. We've got growth hormone, for example. Makes you grow tall, big, and strong. But we've also got sex hormones. Sex hormones. These sex hormones eventually will lead to the production of other hormones. Typically we call them androgens. Or people will say the male hormones. Testosterone is an example of these male hormones. One of the key features of testosterone, or functions rather, is to generate libido within you. This one I've heard is a rumor, I don't know how true it is, that the prominent queen mothers, a Merriman Ejarium, and those men are eunuchs. They have been castrated. You know why they castrate them? To take away their libido. Because if you are a man, for example, and you see a woman or certain parts of a woman, you must feel certain things in your loins. Can I ask David about it in the Bible? There is nothing sinful about it. We are talking biology here. So please hide the Bibles and the Qurans and all those books for the next 20 minutes, then you can bring it out. But now we are talking biology here. Libido is good. It comes from androgens. So I remember a complaint I got from someone. Came to our consulting room, and we had some very young student nurses on attachment. This man sat there, he's in his 60s. He was just looking at one of them. The way the man was looking, I was getting worried. It's like, Mister, please, let's talk about your complaint. I said, Doctor, What the share would nurse for ya said ya what dressy mentishe. That was his only complaint. The only reason he came to see me on teshe. Libido, loss of libido is gone. A woman can strip on teshe, show the thigh on teshe. Also, mommy, you can go and get the lingerie on teshe. So there are biological factors at play, and you have to understand. There are times in the month that a woman also secretes certain hormones that also makes her feel that she needs to be with a man. If you are in animal husbandry, you say the female animal is on heat. It can happen in human beings too. You've got to be aware of that. All these things are related to these biological factors, these hormones. Very, very important. There are also nerves that run through various parts of our bodies. So you touch something hot, you feel it. Touch something cold, you feel it. You get cut by a sharp knife, you feel it. Well, there are also nerves that run in certain parts of your body. In a little bit of learning, a little bit of anatomy, you would know that some nerves run down there. We have funny names for those nerves in medicine. If you know where to touch, you can touch before getting into the ahimfie, and the woman will be there before you even get inside the ahimfie. You've taken her to heaven. So a little bit of learning about biological factors and the structure of the body would help. You the names here. You can see me after this, and then I'll give you the names. Somebody wants to Google. So the biological factors are very, very important. Now let's look at some of the social factors that also influence the way we are able to positively experience sex in the marriage. Do you know that it is taboo among certain communities? I would say most communities in our part of the world, for you to have sex in the bush. Yes. It is not bush matter. We are talking about asasiya. Do you know that amongst especially the Akans, the earth, the soil, is a deity? Asasiya. That you would want to do it there, because you've been